Take a deep breath, Patriots Nation. Tonight brings sparks, shocks, and ideas that flip barstool debates. A rookie who stepped in and lit up the field. A plan that could unlock the offense. A forgotten unit roaring back hungry. And a play so relentless it shut veterans up. I'm promising suspense, sharp cuts, and truth straight to the vein. Are we watching the birth of a new era in Foxborough? You won't believe what we've got today. So grab a seat, hit like, and let's dive right into the news. Stay to the end because the final reveal will shake your expectations. A spark on the first touch and everyone notices. Something feels different. 2 weeks, 2 touchdowns. Trevian Henderson, the second-round rookie, took the very first ball he touched in the preseason and housed a kickoff. 7 days later in Minneapolis, he crossed the goal line with authority against the Vikings. Sounds like a movie, but it's pure execution, fast vision, clean cuts, and acceleration that widens the camera. Not shocking to anyone who watched him at Ohio State, where he popped from his first snap. Even when Quinshon Judkins grabbed headlines during the 2024 title run, Henderson kept producing and threatening. Now, what matters for us is the fit in Foxborough. With Ramondre Stevenson holding it down as the trusted vet, Henderson arrives to split the backfield without blinking. Here's the detail that could flip the attack: the passing game. Josh McDaniels' plan puts the rookie in space, punishing linebackers one-on-one and speeding up drives without forcing low-percentage shots. On Saturday, he had 4 carries for 20 yards. Modest number, massive impact. The gravity he creates stretches the defense, opens windows for play action, and gives us oxygen on third down. It's just preseason. I hear the caution, but traits don't lie. When a back touches the ball and the defense hesitates a half step, you feel it from the couch. Henderson has that. He also has the patience to set up blocks, the guts to hit the crease, and reliable hands to be our quarterback's escape valve. I'm talking about Drake May. Their timelines mesh beautifully. While May learns to move safeties with his eyes, Henderson turns checkdowns into explosions of 12-15 yards. Strategically, it's simple and lethal. Use Stevenson to grind inside, call zone and duo until the front starts leaking, then unleash Henderson on screens, swings and angle routes. Add pre-snap motion to steal information, force coverage swaps, and punish late reactions. Mix in 12 personnel to sell play action and isolate the rookie on slower defenders. In every scenario, the Patriots win. And no, this isn't retire Stevenson, not even close. Modern backfields are smart committees. The future points at Henderson, but the present demands a 2-man rotation. One more point of emphasis: pass protection. If the rookie gets good enough at identifying blitzes and anchoring versus quick edges, the whole field opens up. Runner or receiver, the defense will have to pick its poison. The fans felt it. The sound of hope is real. We spent too long begging for real speed. Now it's here, flashing on every replay. McDaniels doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. Just keep the ball in the right hands, hammer mismatches underneath, and manage the clock. If Henderson keeps this level of pop, good things happen. The RB of the future is already on the roster, aligned with May's development, and that raises this season's ceiling. Keep the hype in check? A little. Enjoy the ride? Absolutely. And save some energy, because what's next messes with even more certainties. While that early blast is still echoing, those 2 joint practices in Minneapolis gave away a clear clue. The Patriots are finding an identity. At US Bank Stadium, even with starters limited over the first few snaps, the team's skeleton showed up. The offensive line with Will Campbell on the left, Ben Brown inside, Mike Onwenu anchoring the core, and rookie Marcus Bryant at right tackle sustained early drives, opened lanes when asked, and kept the pocket breathable. When that happens, the script flips. The offense sets the tempo, and the defense plays loose. The jolt that lit up the crowd came from the guy everyone's talking about in New England. Trevian Henderson hit the gas, made the cut on time, and finished a 9-play, 52-yard march with an 8-yard score. Simple, efficient, the Vikings aligned to stop the run. They just couldn't get there. Strategy in motion. When the run threat is real, safeties drop, RPOs bite, and play action turns poisonous. Drake May says thank you, because timing throws appear and reads get cleaner. Even on a small sample, there's pop in the backfield and timing in the blocking. But who said this would be an offense-only script? The emotional turn came when Alex Austin, eyes like a lighthouse, read the QB, got Trevian Henderson squeezing the window inside, and jumped a short route for a pick that chilled the stadium. That's the defensive philosophy fans demand: aggression with discipline and clean finishes. In one-score games, that's the difference between a defense that just survives and one that flips a game with a cold, short field takeaway. The turnover flipped field position and handed the clock to our plan. Take a breath. because the veteran punch landed too. Kyle Duggar, surrounded by rumors about his future, showed up everywhere, in the box, teasing blitz, scraping sideline to sideline, and finishing tackles without losing his base. Not a shiny box score, positional value. That versatility lets you disguise, swap responsibilities, and cloud QB reads, buying the rush a half second. Then came the moment that makes a locker room believe. Eftton Chisum III, the undrafted kid we've mentioned every day, stacked 6 catches for 71 yards and at the horn turned a short route into a touchdown after breaking multiple tackles, capping an 88-yard drive led by Josh Dobbs. Not a fluke, it's short area separation, post-contact balance, and ball carrier vision. The studio went breathless, and the sideline exploded because practice becomes belief when the ball crosses the line. A 14-3 halftime lead and, more important, signs of process, clean execution, quick adjustments, and the energy of a team finding itself. With starters on a pitch count yet still making impressions, the message is clear. If this is the base, the season's build has pillars. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. Hold that thought, because the next turn challenges a few assumptions. If you think games are decided only on offense and defense, hold your breath. The third unit is rewriting Foxborough's script. The biggest tell has come this preseason, and it's no exaggeration to say special teams are the sharpest identity on the roster right now. Credit Jeremy Springer, kept by Mike Vrabel when the rest of the staff was reshaped. He survived a 2024 to forget, and in a year flipped execution, discipline, and daring. Sounds like a detail? These are the hidden yards that decide short fields, clock, and momentum. Right out of the gate in Minneapolis, Marcus Jones hit the turbo and reminded everyone why fans buzz when the ball finds him. Lateral vision, change of direction without losing speed, and blocking reads that make the wall look choreographed. The Vikings barely inhaled before the field shrank and the offense entered with the hot knife. That's not just individual juice. It's blocking designs with doubles landing on time, return angles practiced to exhaustion, and gunners forcing outside leverage to open the lane inside. When the mechanics are right, every kick is a real chance. And just when it looked like the show was over, Jeremiah Webb closed the half with a 60-yard return that nearly became 6. Nearly. That almost was enough. It turned the sideline into a frenzy, lit the locker room at halftime, and added tape to keep opposing coordinators up late. Message delivered. Kick it short, we'll take it. Kick it deep, we're bringing it back with danger. That dilemma changes kickoff calls, forces squibs, and hands over field position. Any OC will turn into points. Remember the end of the Belichick era, when special teams flashed and then melted with costly mistakes. That swing is fading out of the script. Coverage is closing angles, first contact is cleaner, and backside containment is habit, not exception. I'm not talking cold numbers. I'm talking confidence. When our punt leaves the foot, you already feel, okay, we're starting near the 40. When we're covering, the ball dies near the goal line. Technique matters, sure, but so does culture. Sprint to the whistle, low leverage, shoulder in the right place. Strategically, Springer's mirroring offensive looks to mess with counting rules on punt protection, freeing pressure with 4 without selling the farm. On kickoffs, a symmetric look masks direction and funnels returns to the strength. And don't be shocked if a fake punt shows up in a big moment. When a unit becomes an edge, you use it. Complementary football, 2025 edition. Aggressive defense, efficient offense on short fields, and special teams that win the clock and the vibe. All of it takes weight off a developing roster. A quarterback early in the journey, a line in transition, receivers building chemistry. Everyone breathes easier starting short. And the best part? This energy is contagious. Veterans are running like rookies. Rookies are executing like vets. Sounds cliche, but the performance curve is real. And if you love an underdog story that can flip a locker room, stay with me, because what a certain rookie did to half a dozen defenders will fuel arguments all week. Sometimes one play rewrites a player's bio in front of everyone. Eftton Chisum III showed up as an Eastern Washington underdog slot frame, starter's hunger. In Minneapolis, with the clock spitting out its last seconds, he took a short ball, absorbed contact at the 6, and instead of going down, he knifed through 4 defenders, slipped between 2 more, and dove into the end zone. It was 12 yards on paper, but miles of message, don't cut me. In the booth, Scott Zolak basically stamped his roster pass. Jason and Devin McCourty praised the spirit, pure determination. From the building came a chorus of validation when captains and ex-champs salute the grind. The whole place listens. So what does that change in Foxborough really? First, immediate separation in tight windows. A slot who lives on option routes needs 3 traits. Burst in the first 2 steps, loose hips to break on angles, and balance after contact. Chisum flashed all 3 on the same sequence. Second, spatial intelligence. The play demands a leverage read of the nickel. He sold the inside shoulder, recovered his line, and attacked the dead zone, stealing the half step that turns into landscape when the tackle arrives late. Third, competitive tape that travels, ball security, active feet, eyes on the pylon. That package turns checkdowns into dynamite. On the chalkboard, the utility is obvious. If Josh McDaniels wants to ease Drake May's life, he needs a short area target that punishes blitz and bails out collapsing pockets. Use pre-snap motion to force tells, align Chisum in bunch for clean releases, and call jerk routes against man coverage. Mix in mesh to create legal traffic and force exchanges. In the red zone, pivots and whips cook stiff-hip linebackers. On third and medium, sit routes in the void between hook and curl keep the chains moving. Add delayed screens and orbit motion to sell jet and punish over pursuit. All of that syncs with the DNA we've seen in these first weeks. Efficient play action, the run game opening the guard, and the rookie functioning as a pace accelerator. And the roster impact? Roster math is about roles, not last names. A rookie who gives you yuck, blocks on the perimeter, and helps on special teams pushes the line. He'd been flashing in camp. Now he's translating it in games, which is what weighs on the cut to 53. That shifts culture. When an undrafted refuses the ground, Tuesday practice finds another gear. It triggers a domino effect. The defense backs the nickel off, space opens between the tackles, and play action eats. Pure complementarity with Trevian Henderson. If the slot threatens inside, the box loosens and the run grows. If the run bites, the slot feasts on slants and options in the void. The fan base caught the spark and launched the debate. Does he deserve snaps over bigger names? How much of this fire sustains against complete defenses in September? My read, WR3, WR4 out of the gate. Third down packages, occasional return duty, and high-leverage 2-minute reps for his lateral quickness. Not a rushed coronation, a rational tweak for a roster that craves short area separation and post-contact courage. Keep the ferocity, and he turns a lukewarm drive into points that flip Sundays. And that ties perfectly to everything we saw today. Let me stitch the pieces together. Take a breath, Patriots Nation. Today we saw an offense growing new legs with Henderson, a defense that flips games with one ball, and special teams back as a weapon. The pieces fit, May maturing, Stevenson keeping the ground sturdy, Springer delivering short fields, and Chisum injecting courage and separation underneath. It's an identity born in August to cash in November. If the staff protects the plan, levels up pass pro, and keeps the details clean, the tide turns. I want to hear you. Is Henderson already the engine? Does Chisum deserve veteran snaps? Drop a like, comment, share, and subscribe.